It was a normal Tuesday night in the small town of Greenville. The sky was clear, and stars twinkled above the sleepy houses. But everything was about to change. Alex Johnson, a 28-year-old computer repairman, sat on his porch. He liked to watch the stars after a long day of fixing laptops and arguing with printers. Alex was average in many ways. Average height, average looks, with messy brown hair and glasses, but he had a sharp mind and loved solving puzzles. As Alex sipped his coffee, something odd caught his eye. A bright light zoomed across the sky. At first, he thought it was a shooting star, but then another light appeared, and another. Soon, the whole sky lit up like a giant disco ball. "What the heck?" Alex muttered, standing up so fast he almost spilled his coffee. All over town, people came out of their houses. They pointed at the sky, mouths open in wonder. Some folks cheered, thinking it was a surprise fireworks show. Others looked worried, wondering if it was some kind of attack. Alex's neighbor, old Mrs. Thompson, shuffled over in her fluffy slippers. "Alex, dear, what's going on? Is it the end of the world?" "I don't think so, Mrs. Thompson," Alex said, trying to sound calm. "But it sure is weird." The lights danced across the sky, changing colors from blue to green to purple. They moved in patterns, sometimes forming shapes like triangles or circles. It was beautiful and scary at the same time. Alex's phone buzzed. His best friend, Sarah, was calling. "Alex, are you seeing this? What is it?" she yelled, sounding excited and freaked out. "I have no idea," Alex replied, his eyes glued to the sky. "But it's amazing." As they talked, the light show got even crazier. The lights started to spin, faster and faster, like a colorful tornado in the sky. People on the street gasped and pointed. Suddenly, one light broke away from the others. It was bigger and brighter, glowing with a golden color. This light didn't dance or spin. It zoomed straight down, heading right for the field behind Alex's house. "Sarah, I gotta go," Alex said quickly. "I think something's about to happen." He hung up and ran inside to grab a flashlight and his old baseball bat. Alex wasn't sure why he took the bat. It just made him feel a little safer. As he stepped off his porch, he heard a loud boom. The ground shook, and car alarms started going off all over the neighborhood. Dogs barked, and people shouted in surprise. It came from Farmer Brown's field. Someone yelled. Without thinking, Alex started running towards the field. His heart was pounding, and his mind was racing. What if it was a meteor, or a satellite that fell from space, or maybe something else? As he ran, he noticed other people heading to the field too. Some had their phones out, recording everything. Others looked scared but curious. Alex reached the field first. He climbed over the old wooden fence, his flashlight beam bouncing around in the darkness. The corn stalks were high, making it hard to see. "Hello," he called out, feeling a bit silly. "Is anyone there?" No answer, just the sound of crickets and distant sirens. Alex pushed through the corn, following a trail of broken stalks. Something had definitely crashed here. He could smell smoke and a weird sweet scent he'd never smelled before. Then his flashlight beam hit something shiny. Alex froze. In a small clearing of flattened corn was something. It wasn't a meteor or a satellite. It was smooth and oval-shaped, about the size of a car. It glowed faintly with a soft, pulsing light. "Oh my God," Alex whispered. "It's a spaceship." As if responding to his voice, the ship made a humming sound. A seam appeared in its smooth surface, and slowly, a door began to open. Alex's hands shook. He almost dropped his flashlight. Should he run? Should he hide? But curiosity kept him rooted to the spot. Steam hissed out of the opening door. A shadow moved inside the ship. Alex held his breath. And then something stepped out. It wasn't little and green. It wasn't a scary monster. It was beautiful. The alien looked almost human, but not quite. It was tall and slender, with skin that seemed to shimmer like mother of pearl. Its eyes were large and almond-shaped, glowing with an inner light. On its head, instead of hair, were softly waving tentacles that reminded Alex of sea anemones. The alien looked right at Alex. Its eyes widened in surprise or fear. Alex couldn't tell which. It opened its mouth and made a series of musical chirps and whistles. Alex blinked, unsure what to do. Should he say hello? Should he bow? He settled for an awkward wave. Hi there," he said, his voice squeaky with nervousness. The alien tilted its head, studying Alex. Then, to his shock, it spoke. The voice was soft and melodic, with an accent Alex had never heard before. "Greetings, Earth being," the alien said. "I am in great need of assistance." Before Alex could respond, the alien stumbled. Alex rushed forward without thinking, catching the creature before it fell. "Are you okay?" he asked, surprised at how light the alien felt in his arms. The alien looked up at him, its eyes swirling with colors. "I am the Queen," it said, "and I am in terrible danger." Just then, voices and flashlight beams appeared at the edge of the clearing. People were coming. The alien tensed in Alex's arms, looking scared. In that moment, Alex made a decision that would change his life forever. "Don't worry," he said to the alien queen. "I'll help you. Come on, we need to hide." As the voices got closer, Alex helped the queen back into her ship. The door closed just as the first curious onlookers broke through the corn. "Hey, Alex, did you see where it landed?" someone called out. Alex turned, trying to look casual as he stood in front of the now invisible ship. "Nope, just a big hole in the ground," he lied. "Probably just a meteor." As people gathered around, poking at the flattened corn and taking pictures, Alex's mind raced. He had just met an alien queen. She was in danger. And now, somehow, her safety was his responsibility. The night sky above was still filled with dancing lights, but the biggest adventure was just beginning, right here on the ground. And at the center of it all was Alex, an ordinary guy who was about to become the most important human in the galaxy. Alex's heart was pounding as he stood in front of the invisible spaceship. People were all around, looking for the thing that fell from the sky. But only Alex knew the truth. An alien queen was hiding just inches away. "Nothing to see here, folks," Alex said, trying to sound calm. "Probably just a meteor." Slowly, the crowd started to leave. Some looked disappointed. Others kept looking at the sky, where the strange lights were fading away. Once everyone was gone, Alex turned back to the spaceship. Your Majesty," he whispered. "Are you still there?" The ship shimmered and became visible again. The door opened with a soft hiss. The alien queen stood there, looking weak and worried. "Thank you, Earth being," she said. Her voice sounded like music. "I am in your debt." Alex rubbed the back of his neck, feeling awkward. It's no problem. I'm Alex, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Your Majesty." The queen stepped out of the ship. In the moonlight, Alex could see her better. She was tall, almost 7 feet. Her skin shimmered like a soap bubble. The tentacles on her head moved gently, like they were floating in water. "I am Queen Zara of the Lumina people," she said. "I come from a planet far from here." Alex nodded, trying to act like talking to alien royalty was totally normal. Cool. So, what brings you to Earth, Queen Zara?" Zara's face turned sad. "I am running from great danger, Alex of Earth. My people are under attack by a terrible enemy. I came here seeking help." Just then, they heard voices coming closer. Someone was coming back to check the field again. "We need to get out of here," Alex said quickly. "Can you make your ship invisible and really small? Like, maybe the size of a backpack?" Zara looked confused but nodded. She touched the side of the ship, and it shrunk down to the size of a school backpack. It also turned invisible again. Wow, that's handy, Alex said, impressed. Okay, let's go to my house. We can talk safely there. They hurried through the cornfield. Alex helped Zara climb over the fence. She moved gracefully but seemed tired. Are you okay? Alex asked as they walked quickly down the street. Zara nodded. The journey was long and difficult. I need rest and nourishment. They reached Alex's small house just as more people were coming out to look at the sky again. Alex quickly ushered Zara inside and closed the door. Okay, we're safe now, Alex said, turning on the lights. Make yourself at home, Your Majesty. Zara looked around the messy living room with great interest. She poked at a pizza box and sniffed a half-empty soda can. This is how Earth beings live, she asked, sounding curious rather than judgmental. Alex felt his face get hot. Oh, not all Earth beings. I'm just not great at cleaning. He quickly cleared off the couch. Here, sit down. Can I get you anything? Water? Food? Zara sat on the couch, her tentacles curling around her shoulders. Water would be most welcome. As for food, do you have any plants? Preferably ones still growing. Alex blinked. Plants? I have a cactus in the kitchen. Will that work? Zara nodded eagerly. Alex brought her a glass of water and his small cactus. To his surprise, Zara gently touched the cactus. Her hand glowed softly, and the cactus seemed to lean towards her. Thank you, Zara said. This will provide sufficient nourishment for now. As Zara drank the water, and whatever she was doing with the cactus, Alex sat in his armchair. His mind was spinning. This morning, he was just a normal guy fixing computers. Now he was hosting an alien queen in his living room. So, Alex said, trying to sound casual, you mentioned you were in danger. What's going on? Who's after you? Zara's face grew serious. My people, the Lumina, have lived in peace for thousands of years. We are beings of light and energy. But recently, a dark force has invaded our galaxy. As she talked, the lights in the room seemed to dim. Shadows danced on the walls. They call themselves the Voidborn, Zora continued. They consume light and energy. They destroy everything in their path. My people fought bravely, but we were not prepared for war. Alex leaned forward, fascinated and horrified. That's terrible. But why did you come to Earth? We're not exactly a spacefaring civilization. Zara's eyes glowed brightly. That is precisely why I came here. The Voidborn ignore planets they consider primitive. I hope to hide here and find a way to save my people. She looked down at her hands. But my ship was damaged in the escape. I barely made it to your planet. Now I am stranded here, while my people suffer. Alex felt a mix of emotions, sympathy for Zara, fear about these Voidborn, and a weird excitement about being involved in a real-life space adventure. Well, he said, I'm just a computer repairman. I don't know anything about space travel or fighting evil aliens. But I want to help. What can I do? Zara looked at him, her eyes swirling with colors. You have already done much by helping me hide. But I fear I will need more assistance. The Voidborn may have followed me here. If they find me, your whole planet will be in danger. Alex gulped. No pressure or anything, right? Okay, here's what we'll do. You can stay here for now. My house isn't much, but it's safe. We'll figure out how to fix your ship and save your people. He stood up, feeling braver than he actually felt. Earth might be primitive compared to your people, but we're good at thinking outside the box. Between your alien tech and my human ingenuity, we'll come up with something. Zara stood too, towering over Alex, but instead of looking scary, she just looked grateful. Thank you, Alex of Earth. Your kindness gives me hope. Suddenly, Zara's tentacles started waving wildly. Her eyes went wide. Oh no, she whispered. What? What's wrong? Alex asked, looking around nervously. Zara pointed out the window. In the distance, a red light was pulsing in the sky. It looked angry and wrong compared to the soft lights from earlier. "They're here," Zara said, her voice shaking. "The Voidborn have found me." Alex looked at the alien queen, then back at the red light in the sky. He took a deep breath. "Well," he said, trying to sound braver than he felt, "I guess it's time to save the world." As the red light grew bigger, Alex and Zara stood side by side. A computer repairman and an alien queen. Earth's first line of defense against a cosmic threat. The greatest adventure of Alex's life was just beginning, and the fate of two worlds hung in the balance. The red light in the sky grew bigger. Alex and Queen Zora looked at each other, both scared and unsure what to do. "We need to hide your ship better," Alex said quickly. "Can you make it small again?" Zara nodded and touched her ship. It shrunk down to the size of a lunchbox. Alex grabbed it and ran to his bedroom closet. He shoved the tiny spaceship under a pile of old clothes. "Okay, that should buy us some time," Alex said, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Now we need to fix your ship so you can fight back or escape or something." Zara's tentacles waved nervously. "Yes, but I'm not skilled with repairs. Our engineers usually handle such tasks." Alex grinned. "Well, you're in luck. Fixing things is what I do best. Let's take a look." They pulled the ship out and set it on Alex's desk. Zara made it grow to about the size of a microwave. Alex opened it up and peered inside. His smile quickly faded. The inside of the ship looked like a mix between a jellyfish and a computer. There were glowing tubes, pulsing lights, and things that seemed to move on their own. This might be a bit trickier than fixing a laptop," Alex muttered. Zara pointed to a part that looked like a wilted flower. "This is the main power source. It was damaged when I crashed." Alex scratched his head. "Okay, what does it run on? Electricity? Gas? Nuclear power? It converts starlight into energy," Zora explained. Alex blinked. "Right. Starlight. Of course." He looked around his messy room. "I don't suppose a desk lamp would work instead." Zara tilted her head, thinking, "Perhaps if we could increase its power significantly." Alex snapped his fingers. "I've got it. Back in high school, I made a super-powered flashlight for a science project. Nearly set the gym on fire. It might work." He dug through his closet and pulled out a weird-looking gadget. It was a flashlight attached to what looked like a car battery. "Okay, let's give this a try," Alex said. He pointed the flashlight at the wilted flower thing in the ship and turned it on. FWOSH. A beam of incredibly bright light shot out. The flower part started to perk up. The whole ship hummed. "It's working," Zara said excitedly. Then there was a pop and a fizzle. Smoke started coming out of the ship. "Oh," Alex and Zara said at the same time. Alex quickly turned off the flashlight. The smoke stopped. But now the inside of the ship looked even worse. "I think we might have overdone it," Alex said, coughing. Zara prodded at the ship's insides. "The power converter is completely fried now." Alex ran his hands through his hair, thinking hard. "Okay, don't panic. We just need to replace the power converter. No big deal. Just a normal day fixing alien spaceships." He started digging through his drawers. "Maybe we can use parts from an old phone charger. Or, ooh, I've got an old radio we could take apart." For the next hour, Alex and Zara tried all sorts of crazy combinations. They used parts from Alex's old gadgets, some kitchen appliances, and even a toy robot. Alex connected wires, Zara used her alien knowledge, and together they slowly rebuilt the ship's insides. It wasn't pretty. The elegant alien tech now had clunky Earth gadgets sticking out of it. Duct tape held some parts together. But finally, they were ready to test it. "Moment of truth," Alex said, his finger on the power button of his makeshift control panel, which was actually an old game controller. Zara held her breath. Alex pressed the button. At first, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like a blender full of marbles, the ship started to power up. Lights flickered on. The weird tubes started glowing. It's working. Zara cried happily. Her tentacles waved in excitement. Alex pumped his fist. Yes, take that. Advanced alien technology. Earth ingenuity for the win. Their celebration was cut short by a loud bang from outside. The whole house shook. Alex ran to the window and his jaw dropped. A huge black ship was hovering over the town. It looked like a giant, evil octopus made of shadow. "The Voidborn," Zara whispered, her voice shaking. "They found us." Alex gulped. "Please tell me our fixed ship can fight that thing." Zara shook her head. This ship was only meant for travel, not combat. But perhaps, her eyes lit up, perhaps we could use it to send a distress signal to my people. "Great idea," Alex said. Then he frowned. How do we do that?" Zara pointed to a part of the ship that looked like a disco ball attached to a satellite dish. "This is the communication array. If we can boost its power, we might be able to send a message across the galaxy." Alex looked at the disco ball thing, then at his computer, then at the big TV in the living room. An idea started to form. "I think I know how we can boost the signal," he said slowly. "But it's going to get weird, and we'll probably break every electronics law ever made." Zara put her hand on Alex's shoulder. "On my world, there's a saying. In times of crisis, break all the rules you need to." Alex grinned. "I like your world already. Okay, let's do this." They got to work, turning Alex's entire house into one giant communication device. They connected the alien ship to Alex's computer. They ran wires from the computer to the TV, then to the microwave, then to the washing machine. Alex climbed onto the roof, carrying his old satellite dish and a bunch of coat hangers bent into weird shapes. He attached them all to the TV antenna, creating a strange metal sculpture. Inside, Zara used her alien knowledge to program the distress signal. She spoke into a microphone connected to the whole crazy setup. "People of Lumina, this is your queen. I am on a planet called Earth. The Voidborn have found me. Please send help. The coordinates are..." As Zara spoke, the entire house began to hum. Lights flickered all over the neighborhood. In the distance, the Voidborn ship started to move closer. "Hurry," Alex called from the roof. "I think they've spotted us." Zara finished the message. Alex pressed the send button on his computer. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like 1,000 kazoos playing at once, a beam of multicolored light shot from Alex's roof into the sky. It was so bright it turned night into day. The beam hit the Voidborn ship. The giant shadow octopus thing shuddered and backed away. It worked. Alex shouted, laughing in disbelief. Zara joined him on the roof, her eyes shining with hope. "My people will come. We just need to hold out until they arrive." They looked at the Voidborn ship, which was regrouping for another attack. Then they looked at their makeshift communication device, which was already starting to smoke and spark. Alex took a deep breath. "Well, Your Majesty, I hope your people are fast, because I think Earth is about to have its first interstellar battle, and our best weapon is my old TV antenna and some coat hangers." As if in response, the Voidborn ship let out a bone-chilling roar. The final showdown was about to begin. Chase across town. The Voidborn ship loomed over Alex's house like a giant, angry thundercloud. It shot a beam of dark energy at the roof, barely missing Alex and Queen Zara. "We need to move," Alex yelled, grabbing Zora's hand. "They'll destroy the whole house." They scrambled down from the roof and ran inside. Alex scooped up the tiny spaceship and shoved it in his backpack. "What about your communication device?" Zara asked, looking at the mess of wires and gadgets. Alex shook his head. "No time. We sent the message. Now we just need to survive until help comes." They burst out the front door just as another dark energy beam hit the house. The windows shattered, and the roof caved in. "My security deposit," Alex groaned. Then he shook his head. "Never mind. Run." Alex and Zara sprinted down the street. The Voidborn ship followed, moving slowly but steadily. Its shadow covered everything, making the night even darker. "We need a plan," Zara said as they ran. Alex's mind raced. "Okay, they're big and slow. We're small and fast. We need to use that. Follow me." He led Zara down a narrow alley between two buildings. The Voidborn ship couldn't fit, but it sent smaller, drone-like shadows after them. "Duck!" Alex yelled as a shadow drone swooped at them. They rolled under some hanging laundry. The drone got tangled in a pair of giant granny panties and crashed. "Ha!" Alex laughed. "Score one for Earth fashion." They emerged from the alley near the town's pizza place. The owner, Joey, was outside, staring at the sky with his mouth open. "Joey," Alex called, "we need to borrow your scooter." Joey just nodded, too shocked by the alien ship to argue. Alex jumped on the pizza delivery scooter, and Zara climbed on behind him. "Hold on tight," Alex said. He revved the engine and took off just as more shadow drones appeared. They zoomed through the streets, weaving between parked cars. The shadow drones followed, letting out high-pitched screeches. "We need to lose them," Zara shouted over the wind. Alex nodded. "I've got an idea." "Hang on." He turned sharply, heading straight for the town's car wash. It was one of those automated ones with big, flappy brushes. "What are you doing?" Zara asked, her tentacles waving wildly in the wind. "Trust me." Alex grinned. He aimed the scooter right at the car wash entrance. They burst through the flappy plastic strips. Soapy water sprayed everywhere. The big brushes spun, slapping at them. Earth cleaning rituals are very aggressive," Zara sputtered. But Alex's plan worked. The shadow drones flew into the car wash after them and got immediately tangled in the brushes. They fizzled and popped like bugs in a zapper. Alex and Zara emerged from the other side of the car wash, soaking wet but drone-free. "Yes." Alex pumped his fist. "Car wash. 1. Evil aliens. 0. Their celebration was short-lived. The big Voidborn ship appeared overhead, looking angrier than ever. "Oh, come on," Alex groaned. "Don't these guys ever give up?" They took off again, the scooter puttering as fast as it could. Alex headed for the town center, hoping the taller buildings might give them some cover. As they zoomed past the town hall, Alex had another idea. "Zara," he shouted, "can you use your light powers or something?" Zara nodded. "I can create illusions, but not for long. It drains my energy." "Perfect. We just need a quick distraction. Can you make it look like there's a bunch of us?" Zara understood immediately. She raised her hands, and suddenly the street was filled with dozens of Alexes and Zaras, all on scooters. The Voidborn ship hesitated, its dark beams shooting at the illusions. Each hit made a fake Alex or Zara disappear in a puff of light. "It's working," Alex laughed. "Quick, while they're confused." He turned the scooter down a side street, leaving the illusions behind. They could hear the Voidborn ship roaring in frustration. But their victory was short-lived. As they rounded a corner, they found themselves face to face with a group of shadow creatures. They looked like tall, thin men made of darkness, with glowing red eyes. "Oh," Alex gulped. He tried to turn the scooter around, but it sputtered and died. No, not now." The shadow creatures advanced, their hands reaching out like claws. Zara stood up on the scooter, her body glowing faintly. "Stay back," she warned. "I am Queen Zara of the Lumina, and I will not be taken." The shadow creatures hesitated for a moment. Then they lunged forward. Just when all seemed lost, a bright light shone from above. Everyone looked up to see a familiar flying saucer shape descending from the sky. "Hey," Alex said. "Isn't that your ship?" But how? The tiny spaceship burst out of Alex's backpack, growing to its full size in seconds. It hovered above them, a hatch opening in its side. Of course, Zorat exclaimed. It must have finished repairing itself. Well, what are we waiting for? Alex shouted. All aboard the Alien Express. They jumped into the ship just as the shadow creatures reached them. The hatch closed, and the ship shot up into the sky. Alex fell into a squishy seat, his heart pounding. Okay, that was too close. Please tell me we can outrun the big bad ship now. Zara's hands flew over the control panel. The repairs you made were extraordinary, Alex. We have full power. We can certainly outrun them. But what? Alex asked, not liking the tone of her voice. Zara turned to him, her eyes glowing with determination. But I'm tired of running. My people are coming. It's time we faced the Voidborn and ended this once and for all. Alex looked out the window at the Voidborn ship. It was turning towards them, gathering its dark energy for another attack. He took a deep breath and nodded. All right, Your Majesty, let's save the galaxy. But first, he patted his pockets and grinned. I don't suppose this fancy ship has cup holders, because I've still got Joey's Pizza loyalty card, and I think after all this, we've earned a free large with extra cheese. Zara laughed, a sound like tinkling bells. Oh, Alex of Earth, you are a strange being indeed. Come, let us prepare for battle. And perhaps, if we survive, we shall have this pizza you speak of. As their small ship faced off against the looming Voidborn vessel, Alex couldn't help but smile. It was going to be one heck of a night. Alex and Queen Zara's spaceship zoomed through the night sky, the angry Voidborn vessel hot on their tail. Dark energy beams shot past them, barely missing the ship. We need a place to hide and plan. Alex shouted over the noise of the ship's engines, somewhere with lots of stuff we can use. Zara's tentacles waved as she thought. A location with abundant resources and minimal population would be ideal. Alex snapped his fingers. I've got it. Old Man Jenkins' junkyard. It's on the edge of town, full of old junk we can use, and no one goes there at night. Excellent suggestion, Alex of Earth, Zara said, steering the ship towards the outskirts of town. They landed the spaceship in a clearing among piles of rusty cars and broken appliances. As they climbed out, Alex looked around with a grin. Welcome to our new secret base, Your Majesty, he said, spreading his arms wide. It's not much, but it's got everything we need to save the world. Zara tilted her head, her glowing eyes taking in the piles of junk. I see potential in this collection of discarded items, but how will this help us defeat the Voidborn? Alex rubbed his hands together excitedly. Oh, you'd be surprised what we can do with a little Earth ingenuity and alien tech. First things first, though, we need to hide the ship. They covered the spaceship with an old tarp and surrounded it with junk to make it look like just another pile of trash. Then, Alex led Zara to an old school bus in the middle of the junkyard. This'll be our command center, he said, prying open the rusty door. Inside, the seats had been removed, leaving a large empty space. Zara ducked to enter the bus, her tentacles brushing against the ceiling. It's cozy, she said diplomatically. Alex chuckled. Just wait. We're going to turn this into the coolest alien fighting base ever. For the next few hours, Alex and Zara worked tirelessly. They scavenged parts from old computers, TVs, and radios. Alex showed Zara how to strip wires and solder connections. Zara used her alien knowledge to enhance Earth technology in ways Alex had never imagined. They set up old computer monitors along one wall of the bus, creating a makeshift control center. An old satellite dish, rewired and boosted with alien tech, gave them a way to monitor the Voidborn ship's movements. Check this out, Alex said, holding up what looked like a super soaker water gun attached to a car battery. I call it the Void Zapper. It shoots a stream of concentrated light energy. should give those shadow creeps a nasty surprise. Zara examined the weapon with interest. Impressive. The Voidborn are vulnerable to intense light. This could be very effective. As the night wore on, their secret base took shape. The old school bus was now filled with a bizarre mix of junkyard finds and glowing alien technology. It looked like a mad scientist's lab had collided with a Radio Shack and an UFO. Now for the final touch, Alex said, pulling out an old gaming console. Every secret base needs a way to relax and plan strategies. Zara looked puzzled as Alex set up the game system. I don't understand. How will this entertainment device help us defeat the Voidborn? Alex grinned. You'd be surprised how much you can learn about strategy from video games. Plus, it'll help us stay awake and keep our spirits up. Here, let me show you how to play. To Alex's surprise, Zara picked up the game quickly. Her alien reflexes made her a natural at the fighting game Alex had chosen. Soon, they were engaged in an intense battle on the screen, their laughter echoing through the junkyard. Ha! Take that, evil space monster. Zara cheered as her character landed a winning blow. Alex chuckled. See, you're getting into the Earth spirit already. Now imagine that space monster is a Voidborn, and you've got the right idea. Suddenly, one of their jury-rigged monitors started beeping. Alex and Zara rushed to check it out. Oh, Alex muttered. Looks like the Voidborn ship is making another pass over the town. They're probably looking for us. Zara's face turned serious. We must take action. But how can we fight such a powerful enemy with these recycled weapons? Alex put a hand on Zara's shoulder. Hey, don't underestimate Earth junk. Besides, we've got something they don't. Teamwork and creativity. Now, let's think. What do we know about the Voidborn? Zara's tentacles wave thoughtfully. They feed on energy and light. They can create smaller shadow creatures to do their bidding. And they're vulnerable to intense light. Right. Alex nodded. So we need to find a way to hit them with a lot of light all at once. But how? His eyes fell on a pile of old cars in the corner of the junkyard. A mischievous grin spread across his face. I've got a crazy idea, he said. How do you feel about a little demolition derby, alien style? Zara looked confused. Demolition? Derby? Alex's grin widened. Oh, you're gonna love this. First, we need to gather all the car batteries we can find. Then we're going to need a lot of headlights. For the next hour, they worked furiously. They wired dozens of car batteries together, connected them to every headlight and flashlight they could find, and mounted the whole contraption on top of an old monster truck they found buried under a pile of scrap. Behold, Alex said proudly, the Luminator 3000. One flip of this switch, and we'll light up those Voidborn like a Christmas tree. Zara looked impressed. This is remarkable, Alex, but how will we get close enough to use it? Alex patted the monster truck's dented hood. That's where this beauty comes in. We'll drive right up to their ship and give them the shock of their lives. Just then, their makeshift radar started beeping frantically. The Voidborn ship was heading straight for the junkyard. Looks like they found us, Alex said, his voice tense but excited. You ready for this, Your Majesty? Zara stood tall, her eyes glowing with determination. I am ready, Alex of Earth. Let us show these Voidborn the true power of light and junk. They climbed into the monster truck, the Luminator 3000 humming with power on its roof. As the dark shape of the Voidborn ship appeared on the horizon, Alex revved the engine. All right, Your Majesty, he said, gripping the steering wheel. Let's take out the trash. With a roar of the engine and a war cry from both human and alien, they charged out of the junkyard, ready to face their enemy. The final battle was about to begin, and the fate of Earth and the galaxy hung in the balance. Big fight at the mall. Alex and Queen Zora raced through the empty streets in their jury-rigged monster truck. The Luminator 3000 on the roof hummed with power, ready to blast the Voidborn with intense light. But as they approached the town center, Alex's eyes widened. "Oh no," he muttered. The Voidborn ship hovered directly over Greenville Mall. Shadow creatures poured out of it, seeping into the building through every crack and crevice. "They must be trying to drain all the energy from the mall's power systems," Zara said, her tentacles waving anxiously. Alex nodded grimly. "And with all those shops and big open spaces, they'll have plenty of room to spread out. We can't fight them out here. We need to go in." He turned the monster truck towards the mall parking lot. With a screech of tires, they skidded to a stop right in front of the main entrance. "Okay, new plan," Alex said as they climbed out. "We take the fight to them, use whatever we can find inside. You ready for this, Your Majesty?" Zara's eyes glowed with determination. "I am prepared, Alex of Earth. Let us vanquish these void dwellers and save your world." They grabbed their makeshift weapons. Alex with his void zapper and Zara with a device that looked like a disco ball attached to a leaf blower. Together, they pushed open the mall doors and stepped inside. The scene that greeted them was like something out of a nightmare. Shadow creatures slithered across the floor and walls. The usually bright mall was dim, with only emergency lights providing eerie illumination. "We need more light," Zara whispered. Alex looked around frantically. His eyes fell on a sporting goods store. "I got an idea. Follow me." They dashed into the store, dodging grasping shadow tendrils. Alex grabbed armfuls of glow sticks from a camping display. "Here," he said, cracking them to activate the chemicals inside. "These won't hurt them much, but they'll help us see." They scattered the glow sticks around, creating islands of green light in the darkness. The shadow creatures hissed and backed away from the glow. Suddenly, a larger shadow formed in front of them. It solidified into a tall, menacing figure with glowing red eyes. "Pitiful light dwellers," it growled in a voice like grinding stones. "Your world will fall to darkness." "Not if we have anything to say about it, Smokey," Alex yelled. He aimed his void zapper and fired. A stream of concentrated light shot out, hitting the shadow figure square in the chest. It shrieked and stumbled back, its form wavering. Zara joined in, activating her disco ball leaf blower. It shot out a spray of dazzling, multicolored lights that scattered the smaller shadow creatures. "It's working," Zara shouted excitedly. "Keep it up, Alex." They fought their way through the mall, using everything they could find. In a toy store, Alex loaded a Nerf gun with mini flashlights instead of foam darts. Zara figured out how to use a bubble machine to create floating orbs of light that confused and disoriented the shadow creatures. As they passed a beauty salon, Alex got another idea. He grabbed several cans of hairspray and a lighter. "What are you doing?" Zara asked, fending off a shadow creature with a light-up yo-yo. Alex grinned, making a makeshift flamethrower. "Fire is just another form of light, right?" He sprayed the hairspray and lit it, creating a huge fireball that sent nearby shadow creatures fleeing in terror. But for every shadow they dispelled, more seemed to take its place. They were being pushed back, cornered in the food court. "There's too many of them," Zara cried, her glow starting to dim with exhaustion. Alex looked around desperately. Then he saw it, the mall's central skylight, currently covered by the Voidborn ship. "Zara, I've got a crazy idea," he said. "Can you use your powers to boost our Illuminator 3000 from here?" Zara nodded. "I can try, but it will take all of my remaining energy." "Okay, here's the plan," Alex said quickly. "I'll keep them busy. You channel every bit of light and energy you can into the Illuminator. We're going to give that ship one heck of a sunroof." Zara nodded and began to glow brightly. Alex stood in front of her, armed with his void zapper, the hairspray flamethrower, and a shopping bag full of light-up toys. "Hey, shadow creeps," he yelled. "Come and get some Earth-style butt-kicking." The shadow creatures swarmed towards them. Alex fought like a madman, spraying light and fire in all directions. He swung a light-up sword from the toy store, kicked glowing sneakers at the creatures, and even threw a lamp from a home goods store like a javelin. Behind him, Zora glowed brighter and brighter. The Luminator 3000, still on the monster truck outside, began to hum louder. Just when Alex thought he couldn't hold them off any longer, Zara shouted, "Now, Alex." Alex dove to the side as Zara released a massive beam of pure light. It shot through the skylight, shattering the glass, and struck the Voidborn ship dead center. The ship writhed like a living thing. Cracks of light appeared all over its surface. The shadow creatures in the mall shrieked and began to dissolve. With a sound like 1,000 thunderclaps, the Voidborn ship exploded in a nova of light. The shockwave shattered every window in the mall, sending a rain of glittering glass everywhere. When the light faded and the dust settled, Alex peeked out from behind an overturned table. The mall was a mess, but sunlight now streamed in through the broken skylight. There was no sign of the shadow creatures or the Voidborn ship. We did it," Alex said in disbelief. "Zara, we actually did it." But when he turned to the alien queen, his heart sank. Zara lay on the floor, her glow barely visible. "Zara." Alex rushed to her side. "Are you okay? Please be okay." Zara's eyes fluttered open, her voice weak. "Alex, we were victorious." "Yeah, we won," Alex said, helping her sit up. "You were amazing. You saved the whole world." Zara managed a small smile. "We saved it together, Alex of Earth. Your bravery and creativity were most impressive." Just then, they heard a sound from outside. Alex looked up to see multiple points of light descending from the sky. "The Lumina," Zara said, her glow strengthening a bit. "My people have arrived." As the new ships landed outside the mall, Alex helped Zara to her feet. They walked out together, battered and exhausted, but victorious. "So," Alex said with a grin, "think your people would be up for a victory pizza. I know this great place, if it hasn't been destroyed by shadow monsters." Zara laughed, a sound like tinkling bells. "Oh, Alex, I believe I would enjoy that very much. But first, perhaps we should explain why the mall looks like a war zone." Alex looked back at the shattered windows and debris-strewn floors. He shrugged. We'll just tell them it was a really aggressive Black Friday sale." As Zara's people approached and curious townspeople began to gather, Alex and Zara stood side by side, an unlikely pair of heroes who had just saved the world with nothing but junk, mall trinkets, and a whole lot of light. Earth joins Space Club. The sun rose over Greenville, revealing a town that looked very different from the day before. The mall's broken windows glittered in the morning light. Pieces of the Voidborn ship were scattered across the parking lot. And in the middle of it all stood Alex, Queen Zara, and a group of stunned-looking humans and aliens. "So," said Mayor Johnson, looking from Alex to the glowing Lumina beings, "you're telling me that this young man and an alien queen saved our town, and the whole planet, from shadow monsters last night?" Alex rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, that about sums it up, Mr. Mayor." One of the Lumina stepped forward. He looked like Zara, but with more tentacles and a fancy glowing robe. "It is true," he said in a musical voice. "Queen Zara and this Earth being have performed a great service for both our peoples. The Voidborn threat has been eliminated." The mayor blinked a few times, then shrugged. "Well, I suppose we should thank you. Though I'm not sure how we're going to explain all this damage to the insurance company." Just then, a fleet of black SUVs pulled up. Men in suits and sunglasses jumped out, led by a stern-looking woman. "Oh, great," Alex muttered. "Here comes the men in black." The woman marched up to them. "I'm Agent Carter with the United States government. We detected unusual activity in this area last night. Would someone like to explain what's going on?" Before Alex could speak, Zara floated forward. "Greetings, Agent Carter. I am Queen Zara of the Lumina. We come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic relations with Earth." Agent Carter's eyebrows shot up above her sunglasses. I see. And you are? She asked, turning to Alex. I'm Alex. I fix computers. And sometimes help alien queens save the world, I guess. Over the next few hours, Alex and Zara explained everything that had happened. Agent Carter listened carefully, occasionally speaking into her earpiece. The townspeople gathered around, snapping pictures with their phones and whispering excitedly. As the story unfolded, more government officials arrived. News vans from every major network pulled up. By lunchtime, Greenville had become the center of the biggest story in human history. Well, Agent Carter said when they finished, this is certainly unprecedented. But given the evidence, we have no choice but to accept that Earth is not alone in the universe. Queen Zara, we would like to invite you and your people to meet with our world leaders. Zara nodded regally. We would be honored. But first, I believe Alex promised me something called pizza. Alex grinned. You heard the Queen, Agent Carter. How about we discuss galactic diplomacy over a slice of pepperoni? To everyone's surprise, Agent Carter smiled. You know what? After the night you've had, I think you've earned it. Joey's Pizza is still standing, right? And so, in a scene that would soon be broadcast around the world, humans and Lumina sat down together in a small-town pizza parlor. Alex watched in amusement as Zara tried to eat a slice with her tentacles. This Earth food is most unusual, she said, cheese stretching between her mouth and the pizza. But I find it quite pleasing. As they ate, Alex's phone buzzed constantly with messages from friends and family who had seen him on TV. His parents were particularly confused about why their son was suddenly hanging out with glowing aliens. Over the next few weeks, the world changed rapidly. The United Nations held emergency sessions to discuss Earth's new place in the galactic community. Scientists from around the globe flocked to Greenville to study Lumina technology. And Alex found himself in the strange position of being Earth's first expert on alien relations. I still can't believe this is happening, Alex said to Zara one day as they walked through the park. People stopped to stare and take pictures, but they were getting used to it. Zara's tentacles waved happily. Your world is adapting remarkably well, Alex. The Galactic Council is most impressed. Alex raised an eyebrow. Galactic Council. There's a whole council out there. Zara nodded. Indeed. And they have extended an invitation for Earth to join as a probationary member. Alex whistled. Wow. Earth's joining the Space Club. That's huge. Just then, a group of kids ran up to them, waving action figures that looked suspiciously like Alex and Zara. Mr. Alex, Queen Zara, one little girl shouted. Can you sign our toys? As they signed autographs, Alex chuckled. You know, when I woke up that morning, I never thought I'd end up as an action figure. Zara laughed. Life is full of surprises. Alex of Earth. Speaking of which, how would you like to be Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Council? Alex's jaw dropped. Me? But I'm just a computer repair guy. Zara put a glowing hand on his shoulder. You are far more than that, Alex. You showed bravery, creativity, and compassion. Those are the qualities we need to build bridges between our worlds. Alex thought about it. He thought about the amazing adventure he'd had. He thought about all the incredible things waiting out there in the stars. Finally, he grinned. You know what? I'm in, but I have one condition. Name it, Zara said. We've got to introduce the Galactic Council to pizza. I have a feeling it could be the key to universal peace. Zara laughed, her glow brightening. I believe that can be arranged. As the sun set over Greenville, Alex and Zara looked up at the stars. But now, instead of distant points of light, Alex saw new friends and adventures waiting to happen. Earth had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and it all started because an ordinary guide decided to help an alien in need. Alex smiled. Whatever came next, he knew it was going to be out of this world. The end.